actually hoping to run into Chuck here tonight with your sandbagging, Chuck. That would be a thing.
Break, checking in.
Wow, another life heard from.
Good evening.
Yes, it is.
Well, let's give this a try.
How you doing, Dave?
Hey, Tommaso, Jose.
Countywide.
Oh, here we go. Now the party can start.
Classic Radio Roundup, 27115 on the AM radio dial.
Yeah, Classic Radio Roundup is underway. And underwhelmed and underfunded.
And understaffed.
Yeah, understaffed, underfunded. No government grants here.
And no general grants either. He's lying in grants too.
Heck, I'm even short on the Lincolns.
Lincolns, Benjamins, Washingtons, yeah, I'm short on all of them.
Pretty soon you'll be able to be short on your Harriet Tubman.
Good grief.
Say, Spitfire.
What's going on there, Ranger? Top of the evening to you on the Roundup.
How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, man. Belly's full of a T-bone steak and a couple pints of Guinness.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll work. I was calling you earlier. I was out in the mobile. I was going to run over.
Well, I happen to be out eating, but now I'm home.
And the video gate's running.
I do have a couple of mobile mounts. I got more antennas than I got mounts.
Well, I need an antenna too for my machine, so, you know, it'll work out a deal. You still need stock for knobs, or?
Yeah, sure. I'll take material in trade. Yeah, I got that Wilson 1000 Magnum mount. That'll probably be good for your machine.
Yeah, I need something. I had the Archer on there, and, you know, I could put out pretty good. But the one I got on there is just too small.
Well, I got one of them fiberglass antennas that's like 5 feet long or something like that. I got a pair of them, actually. You could co-phase them if you wanted. And then I got that Wilson 1000. And, I don't know, a few other assorted antennas. I got one of them 62-inch Archer antennas. They work pretty well.
Yeah, I believe that's the one I have on my truck. This thing's not Hatfield, is it?
No, you're sounding like you're sitting in the room with me.
Yeah, no Hatfielding.
Yeah, the head on this damn D104 was loose last night. I tightened it up and tried to get it all squared away for tonight.
Yeah, you were making the dogs howl last night. But now the one dog's out there in doggy heaven while the other three are jealous. I gave my favorite pooch to T-Bone.
That's favoritism.
That's alright, dogs don't seem to care.
Yeah, they'll just try to steal it off of them.
Well, that's why she's outside and the rest of them are inside.
Oh, it's not Mini-Man you gave it to.
No, Mini-Man's my favorite, but he don't need that.
Yeah, when you said your favorite, I figured it was Mini-Man.
Well, next in line. Sissy came first.
Oh,
That's right, my big black shiny Dixie dog.
That's the one without the gray around the muzzle.
Well, yeah, except as she gets older, she's starting to get that gray.
Yeah, but the other one's grayer.
Well, that's actually white.
Ah,
Yeah, she got the circle white around her muzzle. That's the other one. Seems kind of light in the check-in department. Hey, if you want to stop by over now, Ranger, that's okay. If not, you know, maybe tomorrow sometime or something.
Yeah, you know what? I just took some Motrin. I went through that procedure today. Not feeling too bad. I could probably run out.
Well, it's up to you, you know. You can do it tonight. Of course, that'll take away from Classic Radio Roundup participation. Tomorrow after about 1 o'clock, anytime after that is good. And Friday's kind of up in the air. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll be around if I'm not doing nothing. Oh no, stop at the hat fielding.
sounds like the skip's in there on a couple channels. I guess it's only a matter of time before it kicks in here.
It was in here hot and heavy earlier. I think it's a little bit lighter than it was earlier. In anticipation for that, I chose not to run the Trinidad.
Yeah, that would have been a bad choice. Of course, I'm running the Cobra 2000 tonight, but I suppose this is probably a little better than some, but probably not as tight as the high gain.
I'm running my faux Tram Titan 4.
Your foe? In other words, the JC Penny Pinto, huh?
Yep, that's right.
You guys check out the Goodwill auction site also?
No.
Oh man, they always have stuff. I can get a Curry or a couple other radios on there right now. Hideaway so people don't check.
Wow, that's interesting. This is what, an auction online thing?
Yeah, the Courier I think got 5 minutes left on it.
What model Courier?
Let me look it up.
If it's like something like a Conqueror or Centurion or something, that's like a damn good price. For a crappy little mobile, that's like, eh.
Definitely a state. I think it's got wood flat.
Man, whoever's up there on channel 14 is freaking lighting up the whole band.
Yeah, he's running a splatter box.
Oh yeah, I look at it on the Spectrum scope and he's lighting up the whole band.
Yeah, I had it momentarily on mine on the ICOM here, monitoring on the gutter antenna. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it looks like the Courier one ended. I don't see it anymore.
Oh, it disappears once it's over, huh? Yeah, it's not like eBay that, you know, cancel or completed auctions will hang around.
Oh wait, no, it's done in 19 minutes. The Courier Caravelle 2.
Caravelle 2, that's a mobile.
Caravelle 2. This is definitely a big radio, big size. It's got a big, like a rotary dial on the right-hand side of the channel.
Oh, okay, that's the one without the clock. The Conqueror has the clock, and that's the one right below it, I guess.
Yeah, 19 minutes left, and it's $19.99.
But wait, there's more.
a realistic PRC 30A. That's
You want to know, right?
Yep, model I-620. That's $10.
And this is what, the Goodwill auction?
Yeah, Google Goodwill auction, and then
Can I get a good?
underneath Goodwill.com, there'll be an auction gallery.
My goodness.
Like you gotta search by transceiver, CB radio, two-way radio. They don't list the stuff properly on there sometimes. And, I even picked up a Kenwood 450 on there for. It starts to go up a little bit in price, but I almost got it for like 300.
Almost doesn't count. Of course, now, you know, the video gate's running, so everybody that watches the video gate will know about this little gem in the forest, and the prices will start soaring now.
No, they won't, because whoever that is, I'm not even sure who you're talking to. I think that might be security, maybe? His audio is so low that the splatter is covering him right up.
Aha. The secret might still be safe then.
Is that security?
Yeah.
He needs to go to a pump house or turn the audio up or something if he wants to be heard, because, like, I hear about half of what he's saying.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
I've been trying to get a hold of this one guy to alleviate that issue. I mean, I'm not pushing, chump change here. I'm pushing some decent watts. I'm looking at a week. I'm hitting about 100.
See, that's the problem. You don't have you're not running a classic CB radio with push-pull audio.
Yeah, it's not about the watts, it's about the audio.
Yeah, I mean, if I switch over to the other one, the wattage is so low that you won't hear it anyway. I mean, at least up there now, the audio will be good, but no power.
Well, you're giving me about an S3 swinging to maybe a little over, maybe S4. The splatter is giving me S5, so that tells you where you stand.
Outstanding in his field, like the farmer.
One.
Where's he located at? I forget. I know he told me, but where's he at?
That's Chester Springs or something?
Yeah, I'm in Chester Springs, but I'm on the side of a hill. So to go in his direction, as the hill's in my way. Now, Blockbuster, he's up on the other side of the hill. The higher end of it, that's like, so much better in that direction.
I hear you fine when there's not splatter, but as soon as that splatter skipland nonsense gets in there, you're done for.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for you, because you're giving me like a 4 or 5, and as soon as that guy just starts splattering all over the place, that's where it's gone.
Uh-oh, they just discovered this channel.
Yeah, we must have something in our way. If I'm only giving you the same signal and I'm running... Oh, I'm probably running at least 6 dB more power than you are.
Yeah, like I said, you're on the side of the hill there to me. So.
Yeah, and I'm on the side of the hill that there's one in between us close to me. But let me see if I can help things out a little. I'll go to the pump house myself, Breaker.
We brought it up, swings up to about a 6.
An S unit's an S unit.
Yeah, all's fair. But it does sound like the skip's going to make a return in the very near future. It'll probably be like it was last week. I'll probably have to step on the gas later.
Well, I can't step on the gas much more without going into 0.5 mode.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You know, peak carrier power and backswing.
Like, get a hold of this one guy I've been trying to get a hold of. I should, I'll be sitting on which one called AL811.
AL811, the Meritron?
Yes, sir.
572. Oh, no, it's got pyramid 11 in it, I guess.
It's got 3. 811, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm running my classic Fat Boy 8-pill. Fat boy, fat boy.
Breaker.
Okay, breaker.
Alright, cover 148 GTL in the garage. Off of another antenna here in the garage. Starduster.
It's working good, Ron.
Yeah, it's better than what you usually are.
You got it.
Hello, operator.
Yeah, a little 3-pill. I should be doing a lot more than what I'm giving it, but it is what it is.
Judging from the heterodyne in your background, I would say you're slightly off frequency, too.
I'm working with it.
Yeah, but audio-wise, it sounds good.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't know where... I should go get my device to put it on, but did that get any better right there?
It's hard to really tell.
I don't know, you're giving me an S7 swinging an 8 here in the volcano crater.
Right,
On my Penny Pinto SSB.
Yeah, and my Cobra 2000 GTL.
Yeah, I'll be picking up my Cobra 2000 when he gets out of the hospital and another radio.
Yeah. That was a good find you had there.
Yeah, 2 more radios coming, I think.
Man, between channel 11 and channel 14, what a mess.
Yeah, I don't know where the Roger beep splatter's coming from. I don't know if that's 14 or 11, but yeah, it was a mess last week too, man. Between the JV toilet bowl and the varsity toilet bowl down on 6, it was splatterbox heaven.
I think that Roger beep's actually coming from 12. Because I see that big narrow peak when that happens on the spectrum scope.
It's such a flattering mess that channel 6 and channel 14 actually blend together into one giant pyramid on the scope.
That's bad.
I'm seeing the splatter from 14 and the splatter from 11 meeting right here.
Yeah, what's funny too is it's like it's not a pyramid for me. Like it's like almost completely drops off below the channel, but going up it's like a smooth slope down up to this channel.
Yeah, that's right. Big, wide, smooth slope. Splattering 20 to 30 kilocycles.
Each way.
Yeah, that's right, each way.
Breaker 1-3. Breaker 1-3. I'll say it over 2-7.
That breaker?
2-7-4 around rolling over here on this little bit. Great way.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's everybody out there?
We're hanging loose like a long-necked goose.
On the old Cobra 90 LTD.
It's working. Nice and clean audio.
Then the word of sound. 0274.
Let me go check on this dog. I'll be back. Video gates rolling on Classic Radio Roundup. Spitfire 441 on my antique flea market radio.
Hey, Spitfire, is Slam and Sam coming in good down there?
Oh yeah, I hear you fine, Slam and Sam, as long as this Skipland bleed over don't take everybody out.
Yeah, it seems like it's starting to come in a little strong.
Yeah, strong is good. Messy's bad.
0274 around Roanoke, Virginia. 0274 reading this mail. We're standing by. Rick Berry. Oh, you're around the duck fucking band. Oh, you. That's smooth operator. 274 reading this mail on this little bitty station. 0274 standing by. Break wave.
27.115 on your AM radio dial. Where the heck is Sparky tonight? He's conspicuously absent.
I was just thinking the same thing.
See that? Great minds think alike.
I hope his power didn't go out again.
Yeah, that would kind of suck. But what's the chances of that happening?
He's not on vacation, is he? Because I haven't heard him. Usually I hear him on the weekend, but I didn't hear him this weekend.
Hey, maybe he's busy, Rick. I don't know. Could be one of them things.
Well, it is that time of year.
Yeah, well, it is summertime. Although summertime is going by at a hell of a fast pace. Can't believe July's just about over. Next thing you know, it'll be freaking cold.
That's not a bad thing.
I don't want to hear nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind fall, and I like spring, but I really don't like winter. I do not like the cold.
I don't know. I like the cold. The heat I can deal without. I can deal with it, but I can deal without it.
That means I just got to burn more firewood.
Well, see, I don't like either extreme. I don't like it when it's super hot and humid, but I don't like it when it's cold, and I could do without snow. I mean, it's fun to watch if you got nowhere to go, but the minute you're out on the road, it's just a mess.
Yeah, I believe the object is to get out there, get where you gotta go before all the squirrels come out.
What are you doing? Don't pay attention.
Yeah, well, me against the weather, I don't mind. It's me against all the other people on the road that bothers me.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I leave early in the morning. Get to my destination before anybody gets out there. And usually when I'm leaving work, it's usually late, so usually a lot of people have already gone off the road, so.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I'm in there on Friday night. I don't know what time we're starting, but...
It's that misconception when they say that all-wheel drive is a good thing.
Well, it is a good thing. It gives you a little bit better control and a little bit better traction, but it doesn't help you stop any better.
Yeah, well, that's what I think that people think, that it's going to add that extra stopping power, which, you know what? Distance between the nearest car is what's going to give you the stopping power.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're driving all-wheel drive, and I think it lulls people into a false sense of confidence there, where, you think, oh, well, I'm cruising along nicely. I don't have to worry about it. Wrong.
Yeah, stopping is key. Even when I drove my two-wheel drives, I always give that added distance between the car in front of me and try to keep them people behind you far enough behind you But that never seems to work because they always think you're going too slow, and that's not the point. The point is to get, when you get to a hill, you have that added little, glide to get up the hill when everybody comes to a stop.
Well, that's it, once you stop on a hill, you're done.
I can't say that it's not fun to watch people, but you know what? I want we to be watching from afar.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to say that either because I got to go out there and deal with them.
I figure once I can make it to my excavator, I don't have a problem. But that's not always the case either because I've slid in that thing too, even with tracks on it.
Yeah, even with tracks. I guess that's got to be a lot harder to do. You got to be on glare ice for that to happen.
Yeah, if I get out in the parking lot, by the building or something like that when I'm not in under a roof, that's usually where I start to slide on the ice. And then you just drop the bucket and you got to try to steer yourself back to where you were.
Yeah, it's so much nicer in the summertime when you don't have to worry about ice.
Oh, you're around the bend. How about your radio? You got a copy out there?
Classic radio roundup.
How about your radio? You got a copy on North Carolina? You got a copy on Valley Forge, Pennsylvania there, Brady? No contact on the Keystone, no pocket change, reading the mail. See how it holds up.
Classic radio roundup is picking up a little bit.
Well, not so much that, but the skip is.
Push him some bitches to me. Dave, what do you know about the hula hoop?
It was a device invented in the late 50s and patented by, was it Mattel?
Well, that would be the hula hoop antenna.
Oh, never heard of it. Or is that just a generic name for or is that just a fancy name for a generic design? Like a loop antenna or something?
I guess it would consider to be a generic, but I was wondering if it had a manufacturer.
No. Probably does.
I was just wondering because I heard somebody talking about one, and I did a little bit of research, but all I saw were homemade ones.
So what are they? Are they loops?
I guess it's just a circle with their directional beam, more or less. But I think they have something at the top, but I don't know whether it's just a I don't know, maybe a coil or something like that to it.
I mean, I've got a loop antenna in my closet here. It's a direction finder. It's a small loop. It's only about a foot in diameter. And the top of it has a little tuning capacitor, so you can get your SWR down. But I don't know if I imagine they can make a full wave loop or quarter wave loop or something like that. And it would be just as directional. It's like a dipole. It's bidirectional.
Yeah, well, apparently they have two-dimensional or two-directional or But they also have like a 5-element too.
5-element loops? 5 different loops? That's interesting. I've seen that for 900 megahertz and 1.2 gigahertz. You know, a whole bunch of loops in a row. That actually works pretty well. Doing it on 11 meters, that would be kind of big.
Yeah, well, all the pictures that I've ever seen were all homemade ones. I've never seen one actually made out of aluminum. Mainly it was just like hoops made out of probably plastic wrapped with copper.
Yeah. Use PVC pipe and make a circle and then put wire inside it or something.
Yeah, like your basic dipole. So that's what I would figure.
Antennas are us.
Yeah, we'd be antennas.
What are your hours like tomorrow night, Spitfire?
Well, I'll be home around 1 o'clock, but the lights go out about 8 on Thursdays because that's a 24-hour day for me.
10-4. Yeah, well, I probably get home here about 5:30, so if that would be convenient for you.
Well, it all depends when the wife wants to go out to eat. That's the only fly in that ointment.
Well, I'll give you a shout tomorrow. If not, we'll meet up some other time.
Yep, if I'm available, I'll be on the radio. If I'm not, I won't. That about covers it.
10-4.
That's pretty simple. If I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not.
Yeah, you know, no further explanation required.
I just don't know how it went at work today. Usually things go haywire when I'm not there, so it might be a catch-up day.
Well, it'd be nice to clear out some of these antennas that I ain't using and somebody else can.
I prefer mustard myself.
Yeah, I'm not much of a catch-up unless it's on French fries.
Yeah, I prefer mustard or mayonnaise on my French fries.
I prefer chili or cheese or gravy.
Mayonnaise is really good on French fries.
I don't do mayonnaise. Ugh.
Dip your fries in mayonnaise. It may make it a change.
No. I don't go anywhere near mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise on hot dogs ain't bad. Make it.
Chili and onions on hot dogs.
My daughter likes to dip her French fries in ranch dressing.
She would probably like mayonnaise on them then.
Probably. I like chili, cheese, and gravy. Thick brown gravy.
Yeah, that's always good on fries.
Used to go to the Valerio Diner in Phoenixville. They used to have the best fries and gravy.
That and Ray's back in West Norton, back when they were good. Oh man, gravy fries were something.
Yeah, when Ray's was run by Ray.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yep, I used to go there quite often when I was in my Bridgeport days.
They had the Rays over in East Norton too, but then that closed up about a year and a half ago.
I think it's been a little longer than that since the one in. Oh, wait a minute. There's two. Well, there was two. The one on Ridge Pike is closed. It's something else now, but I think the one over there on Germantown Pike near where Steve used to live is still there.
Yeah, but it's been closed for over a year now.
Really? I guess I hadn't been by there in a while.
Slam Sam, 1-4. 10-4, Rooster.
I wish people would go more than one channel away when they go elsewhere.
Yeah, it's bad enough to contend with the skipland bleed over, let alone local bleed over.
Yeah, I mean, we got all these channels. Let's dial up a couple more.
I only got 23 of them.
Yeah, well, 23 or 40, still have a lot to choose from. It's not like it used to be back in the 70s when you had a local group on every channel, or practically every channel.
Yeah, that's when the A channels came in handy.
Well, yeah, we used to use those. That was kind of neat because you could modify a sideband radio with a clarifier and make it slip down 10 kilohertz, and that was an easy way to get there.
Yeah, back in the Bridgeport and Norristown days, when people would bother Wayne and I trying to talk, we'd go to an A channel, and you could hear them trying to find us. They'd hear our bleed over, but couldn't get to us.
Yeah, of course that doesn't work nowadays because everybody's got an export radio and they all have them channels, so you really can't get away from them. I remember when you and me and Gene were being hassled by somebody and we jumped to one of them and they were right there with us. You know,
Yeah, well, 25 years ago, you could still get away with it.
oh, Facebook? Yeah, 25 years ago? Oh, yeah.
I actually only have one radio that could do that now, and that's my Yaesu. Everything else is stock.
Yeah, well, that's it. All my classics, well, I should say all of them. I think my high gain still has a movable clarifier, and I think so does my 885 Midland. But most of the others are stock, so they don't have any extra frequencies that didn't come out of the factory. A Ronald Reagan son said right there.
The other fun one was 1 below 1.
Which you could also do with a clarifier.
Yeah, but back 25 years ago, most people couldn't get to 1 below 1.
No, not unless you had a sliding clarifier. So if you can get the A channels, that was a pretty good deal actually. You know, you took a 23 channel radio, you put 24 in the blank spot, and then you slid the clarifier 10 kilohertz, and then you had channel 22B, which was 25, and all the A channels, and 1 below 1, you ended up with 31 channels or something now.
Yeah, your generic agitator, mall dropper, interference, QRMer, didn't have those capabilities. Not until later.
Yeah, that was a good thing to do, just to have a little getaway channel, you know. Breaker. Got it, Breaker. Yeah, does it sound any better? Where?
You got to give us a little more than that. Operator, got to give us a little more than that.
Yeah, how does it sound right now? I was trying to get in the system, but it looks like it's down.
I don't know, you still sound good. The signal doesn't seem as strong.
Breaker channel, I'm back, Ron. Yeah, go ahead, pocket change. Yeah, real quick, I just wanted a real fast audio check. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Loud and clear. Garage radio. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Have a great night. All right.
Too bad it's more useless skip. Ain't none of our long distance classic radio operators checking in.
Give it time. Give it time. Maybe we'll hear South Carolina in there before the night's over.
Yeah, I hooked the frequency counter up to Dozy and got each one of them back on.
You sound like you're on frequency now, Ron.
All right, sounds good. Cover 148 and a little fat boy.
Fat boy,
2 pill, 4 pill, 2 pill, 4 pill.
Nice little Starduster, I tell you.
You got Starduster antenna?
I'll be loose somewhere. Yeah, it's on the back of the garage. Yeah, real poke.
Yeah, nice antenna. You gotta put that one up in the air.
There's 28 foot behind the garage.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, just for the garage though. Then I got 2 IMAXs in the tree and then the R5 and then the other crap.
Aren't they just a half wave?
Actually, it's a quarter wave.
Portion of it.
I thought they were center fed half wave.
It's center fed. It's 9 feet up, 9 feet down. That's a quarter wave.
That's a half wave vertical in my book.
Well, it's a 9-foot radiator with 3 9-foot radials. That's a quarter wave ground plane. They're just at a steeper angle than most quarter waves. Most quarter waves are 45 degrees, and that was a little more than that.
Yeah, that's why I refer to them as half waves instead of quarter waves. A quarter wave is, different. I don't know. I guess it's semantics, splitting hairs.
Yeah, but they rated the thing for having 5 dB a gain. I'm thinking, no way, no how. But they were very popular antennas because they were very broadbanded. You could go way up and way down, and the SWR would stay pretty nice. And there was no coils or anything in it, so you could run all kinds of power through it.
5 dB gain over what? A soaking wet noodle?
What's that?
5 dB gain over what? A soaking wet noodle?
Yeah, or a rubber ducky.
Them gain claims are ridiculous.
Yeah, I never could understand that because, a 5/8 wave ground plane only had 4 dB to gain. And even that was probably over isotropic, but, that was with a 22-foot radiator. This thing was, like I say, it's basically a quarter wave configuration. So I don't know where they got the 5 dB gain.
Well, I can tell you, it's working here like this, and it's working good.
Yeah, it's a good antenna. It's got a good radiation angle and everything else.
I had one years ago.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that had them. The Starduster and the Radio Shack 5/8 wave ground plane were probably the 2 most popular Omni antennas around back in the day.
I had the 5/8 Radio Shack.
What was that, security?
Like a Radio Shack antenna that was already blue.
No, God no. That was way later. Now this was the metal ground plane with the 3 radials and the 19-foot 10 and the 3/4 inch radiator. It was their copy of High Gain's CLR2. But because it was Radio Shack, people had access to it, so that was what people bought.
Yeah, I had one 32. I think it was
They used to call it a collinear. Yeah, but you gotta watch those Radio Shack ground plane antennas. Had this little circuit board coil on it with, like a PC board with an etched helical coil on it for matching. And it would only take about 300 watts and you'd burn it up.
Back when I had that antenna, I didn't even know about linears. I was a 4-watt guy.
And you were safe then.
I thought power was putting a D104 on it.
Yeah, that was Power Mike.
Well, that's the only power I had.
I don't think your dad would have stood for any kind of real power.
I don't think he knew about it either. He probably still doesn't. He knows less about CB radio now than by accident than I know on purpose.
Yeah, that came out a little funny, but I know what you were saying.
Yeah, that didn't come out quite right.
Well, and I do have to report sadly that Spew Radio seems to be down again. I think the hard drive is finally giving up the ghost. I think that was my major problem. It was running and I shut it off for the snub lap, and then when I went to put it back on again, I'll get all these errors on the disk. And now it's like rebooting over and over and over again. So I guess that's my problem.
Yeah, Ron was reporting he was trying to get on Spew Radio and it's down.
Hey, if you need any assistance, man, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you.
Well, I've got laptop carcasses over here, and my biggest problem is reconfiguring something's going to take time, and time is the one thing I don't have a heck of a lot of.
Hey, well, if you need hardware or something, let me know. I mean, I got plenty of that. Drive, memory, board, system.
Come on.
I appreciate the offer. Yeah, I got a couple of laptop carcasses over here that when they change them out at work and they throw them all out, then I crap a couple of them.
Yeah, it's kind of the same boat I'm in, but we retire after 3 years, so typically that's how old they are once I get my hands on them.
Yeah, I think it's either 3 or 4 years they do it at where I am, and usually though when the IT department gets them back, they pull the drives out of them and they just throw them in the bin there. So I usually get them sans drive, but I usually have a few hard drives laying around I could throw in there.
If you ever run into a situation too where you got to drive at 65 data recovery, that's something I also specialize in. I have, like hardware-based equipment that does that type of stuff, not usually doing computer and software.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna have to do something similar to that to get Spew Radio back, just because. I should have ghosted this stinking thing onto another drive before it gave up the ghost completely. I may still be able to do that.
It sounds like you probably got some sensors on the drive. So if you run into that situation, let me know. What I do is
He's just humming right along.
I'll put a drive on there and then a new drive, or a drive over to the good drive.
Yeah, that's what I do with Ghost. Ghost will make an image of it and transport it to a different drive.
Yeah, Ghost is okay. I mean, you're doing it on a software level. This is a block-for-block comparison.
Yeah, chain man in the mobile.
It's hard to explain, but it's done with hardware. If you ever look up these big data recovery pieces of equipment, they're thousands and thousands of dollars. Like the one I purchased at work, I think it's about $50,000.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I've always been a guy that believes that hardware is the best way to do a lot. Software has too many bugs in it. If you want it done right, use hardware.
Yeah, well, I mean, as soon as you plug a hard drive into the computer, the computer is actually running everything on that drive while it's, up and running and stuff like that. I got a pretty extensive background in data recovery. I mean, I even do physical repairs to drives, heads and, things like that. Like swap heads out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's looking for aliens.
Yeah, I had to do that once before. I had a drive where the controller board on the drive went bad, and I had another drive that the platter had been bad, but the controller board was good, and I took the good board out of the bad drive and stuck it in the other one and managed to get it up and running again. Of course, then later on they started putting these chips on there that were, coded with serial numbers or something, and supposedly you can't do that anymore, but it worked for a while anyway.
Well, that's where they lie to you. You should introduce yourself to a cold call that you hack. And effectively what you do is you can actually edit the sectors of the drive on a version by Windows and user area.
Yeah.
the portions of the drive that the manufacturer writes in their little bit of code and stuff like that actually ID the drive with a serial number. There's some other things in there too.
Yeah. Most of that stuff is the kind of stuff I used to do years ago when I was really interested in computers, and nowadays I just, you know, I don't play around nearly as much as I used to. It's there's just too many hobbies and not enough time.
Well, gas was $1.70.
I used to have fun in the 90s, you know, when we used to go to computer shows and buy motherboards and cases and build computers up and, you know, load them with packet radio software and BBS software, and, you know, you're running your one packet BBS and you're running your phone BBS and you're doing all this fun stuff. Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So you're running one of the machines out of your location there for work.
Yeah. Just, I have a laptop and I have it hooked up to the radio here, and, you know, it would stream it out. And I had this little $5 camera that I bought at Five Below a couple years ago that when they were selling them, they don't sell them anymore. I wish they would. I'd like to buy a couple more of them. USB camera, stuck that in there and had that trained on the S meter, and, you know, do a little Windows Media encoder, and away you go.
I could actually do that again now, but I don't think I want to with this radio.
Now, after the conversation we had this morning, I'd be a little concerned about that radio.
Yeah, I'm contemplating what to do about it. If it does that to me, any money, you know, much more, it's going back.
Yeah, how old is that model? Has that been out for a couple of years, or is it a relatively new one?
It's relatively new. I think it's only been out about a year.
Yeah, because see, that's the thing. A lot of times when they come out with a new model radio, the very first production runs, you know, will have bugs in it, and then they realize what the problem is, and then the next revision comes out after a certain serial number will have bug fixes in it and all. Like if you look at the service manuals and all for like Yaesus, like the 101 series, the 757 series, whatever else, they have, you know, this serial number to this serial number has these updates in it, and this one has these updates, and, you know, and they give you a whole list of mods you got to do if you got an older one to cover up, you know, design bugs. So I guess it's quite possible that you may, what you're seeing may not be a failure of an individual part. It might be a design issue.
Well, it is based on the FTDX 3000, which has been out for a couple of years. The only difference between this and that is the FFT board is an option. It's built in, that one. That one has a built-in second receiver, but the software architecture is exactly the same.
Well, there's still enough minor differences that could cause a problem. You know, it's not identical. And he said, you know, that one had a separate receiver, this one doesn't. So, I mean, there's enough difference there, right there.
Yeah, it's only happened to me a few times, but more than I would think it should. Where you key up, you talk, you unkey, and you got no audio on the receive. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And it caught me a couple of times. I missed DX contacts because of it, because I didn't hear the guy coming back to me.
Now, when you say there's no audio, is there a signal? Do you see S-meter deflection, or is it like the receiver's completely dead?
No, there's S-meter deflection. You can see the guys coming back to you, but you can't hear anything.
Okay, so it's a problem in the audio circuit, or, well, in these DSP radios, I guess, it can be anywhere from the detector through DSP to any number of things, but it's muting your audio mute line is staying muted when it shouldn't be.
Yeah, sometimes it comes back on its own, Other times I either cycle the radio on and off or cycle through the mode switch, and that brings it back. But by then, you know, you already missed the guy.
Yeah, something ain't right there. It's almost like the squelch is up or something.
I don't know what it is. One time, only one time, it came back with just a big hash of white noise, which didn't correspond to what the S-meter was doing.
Yeah, see, when you talk about that noise, that makes me think that there's a problem in the DSP or something where it's not processing something correctly and you're getting digital noise or, you know, some kind of created noise rather than the proper processing of the signal.
Yeah, that only happened one time.
I think I heard a breaker out there. I knew the conditions would swing south sooner or later.
But that brother's neighborhood this morning going to work. I don't know when it happened, but the city ambulance, there's probably 10 police cars there. And all that was there in the meeting was
What do you hear, a Night Ranger?
a motorcycle. I don't know if it was,
All right, you're sounding good up here.
I don't think it'll be in the paper. That'd be a hell of a crash.
25 minutes ago, I heard you just a little bit and then it faded out, but now it's coming back.
Oh, there he is.
I figured out it's so.
No, you just faded out.
Give me some kind of.
Yeah, and he picked up here. Hello, Night Ranger, countywide.
But
It was S9 and he faded out completely. And then when you're ready, he got high, he got stronger.
Yeah, I didn't hear him at all, and then all of a sudden he came up to about S7 or S8. Hello, Night Ranger, Spitfire, 441, Classic Radio Roundup with the gate rolling.
Well, I'd rather buy it just a little cheaper than that if I could, you know what I'm saying?
That's weird.
Yeah, them spotlight conditions.
Yeah, when he came in there with the girl voice there, it was S9. And then he just faded out.
Yeah, this one got a 40 on it. Damn. 2001.
Yeah, just try something. I threw the beam south, make it a little easier.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Where'd you go, Mother Mary Elizabeth?
Say gone a day or two. Like that.
One day at a time, sweet Jesus, all I'm asking.
I'm hearing all kinds of Southern Skipland, but I ain't hearing Night Ranger.
Yeah, I guess we didn't have solid conditions, but I imagine it'll probably come back again.
What you watch?
Sound like he had a real nice voice over there.
I don't see her on there now.
Oh, jeez. Oh, well. Easy come, easy go. As the skip turns.
You on Fox?
As the skip turns on Classic Radio Roundup.
I'm on Fox too, I see.
I need my soap opera music here.
Show you right.
You need a little bit of that echo there, sandbagger.
Oh, no.
No, echo is something that is not ever needed. It's something to play with, but is never needed.
Oh yeah, especially on this radio. You definitely don't want echo. And this one Hatfield's way too much. There we go. Here we go. I can turn it down and there we go. All right, you want an echo? I'll give you some echo then. There we go. Yeah. Me and the fishbowl getting down and getting funky. Good evening.
More like the trash can.
Yeah, I'm putting the other mic back. didn't know that was you.
There we go. Back on safe microphones.
Frank, down with Jackie. I still haven't heard from Sparky.
I guess he's busy.
Yeah, he's definitely absent here on Classic Radio Roundup tonight.
And you know, he'd be here if nothing else was stopping him.
He stayed in there longer.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes these things can't be avoided.
Yeah, he may have had a job, you know, further away where he couldn't get back in time, or maybe he might even had to stay overnight. That happens occasionally too.
What about around Tennessee or Georgia? You got a copy on the case? So you think he'd be out there on the mobile trying to say hello?
Yeah, in all these skipland conditions, unless he's driving around the neighborhood, forget it.
Yeah, he might be down in Virginia or something. Or someplace way out of range.
How about around Tennessee or Georgia? You got a copy on Valley Forge break? Hey Rick, did I just hear you say your mother was in the hospital?
That's strange. Where did Night Ranger go?
Classic Radio Roundup. Looking for DX check-ins on Classic Radio Roundup 27115 on the AM radio dial. Spitfire 441 and my video gate is rolling on Classic Radio Roundup.
Don't be late or you won't make the gate.
Yeah, no Doc Hammer and no Hightower.
That's serious.
Yeah, you got the other radio all set up in case they get in there.
The window is open.
You better watch out. If the window is open, you might let the flies in.
And yet the radio has never done that funky thing when they're using it.
Aha. So maybe it only works with remote control.
I don't know, I'm trying to look for a pattern and one hasn't emerged yet.
I'd have done it on any other mode other than sideband.
No.
So maybe that's the deal. Doesn't do it on AM.
Yeah, you alright?
I only use it on AM and sideband.
Okay. Hey, give me a shout when you get back. Mark. I'm off.
I did use it once on PSK, and I was using different software that I wasn't used to, and I was on 10 meters PSK, and I put out a CQ, and somebody in Foreland came back, and I couldn't figure out how to make the software transmit because it was a different program than I was used to using. And then when I finally figured it out, the guy was gone. But I'm like, well, I guess it works.
Oh well, easy come, easy go.
PSK kind of sucks. It's, you know, too much typing.
It's like packing radio too, you know. So you're sitting there with the keyboard typing away, and then it occurs to you, what the hell am I doing typing? I can talk a hell of a lot faster.
Yeah, right?
It's like these guys would, you know, send in CW, like, well, you know, I can talk a lot faster than I can send code. Why would I sit here and do this?
Well, I actually kind of understand the people that like code. Not that I'm one of them, but I get it. But PSK, I just don't get it. Other than the fact that it works in weak signal conditions, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's too much typing.
They got several versions of that now, right? It used to be PSK 31. Don't they got like a 60 something or other now too?
Yeah, 64, PSK 64, I think it is. And then there's even a 120 something or other.
Good grief, I can't keep up with all this stuff.
And then there's WSPR, and then there's JT65. With the JT65 seems to be popular with the VHF crowd.
Yeah, it looks like you got about a...
Yikes.
Actually, I'm hearing a lot of that down on 40.
But I actually, for digital modes, the only one that I keep going back to is Slow Scan TV. That's actually pretty easy. Pick a picture, throw a couple of words on it, and send it out. And then you got time while it's sending out to prepare the next one while you're receiving the next one, and that's actually kind of relaxing. And that's my Saturday morning mode when I'm not waking up the house. I got to find something I can do where I'm not talking.
There you go. Yeah, some digital mode.
And that one's okay.
Have you messed around with the HD SSB stuff?
I'm thinking Pete's hearing you.
Yeah, I don't think you heard me on that one.
I didn't know that was directed at me, and I didn't quite catch what it was anyway.
I just said, have you messed around with the HD SSD?
All I heard is HD, and I don't get the rest of it.
HD slow scan, I believe.
It shouldn't surprise me that there is one, but I don't know about it.
It's effectively a file transfer.
What was the theme tonight?
Get on the air and play radio.
Yeah, I mean, we really didn't think about it. The themes will probably start up again when things get a little less hectic and things are a little more predictable. I mean, it would have been stupid to say, oh, let's do stock mic night, and then the skip comes in, You got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, like that one night a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we got caught with our pants down on that one.
I'm kind of glad my stock mic wasn't working that night.
Yeah, I have to go back and look at the list of themes. I know we haven't covered nearly half of them even. I'll have to come up with something innovative. I still want to do a mobile night though. Go out in the mobile one, go find a place to park and, do everything from the car.
Like CB tag.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We can do fox hunting.
I can tell you right now, I won't be participating in that one because I am not putting an antenna on the zipper car.
You're no fun at all.
That paint's too pretty to scratch.
I said the same thing about my first brand new car that I bought in 1980, but I threw a magnet mount on it with a piece of cloth under the magnet so it wouldn't scratch the paint.
Yeah, well, the Malibu was a different thing. That was transportation. I didn't care about that car. But now I got a car I care about, and I don't want to scratch it.
I think you ought to hang a big old 102-inch whip off the bumper, except they don't have one.
Nope, don't have a bumper. Not a traditional one, anyway.
That's all molded into one piece.
It's all about aerodynamics.
Graded into the windshield.
I could probably put my my trunk lip mount on there.
Yeah.
But then it'll look like an RC car.
People tell me my car looks like with the two antennas on there.
My buddy had a pony, escort pony, with two, 12-foot whips on it.
9 foot, 12 foot,
Well, these things used to smack everything. They look bigger than 9 feet.
Yeah, they're 9-foot whips. That's 102 inches plus a spring. There you go. There's your 9 feet.
Yeah, if it's any bigger than that, it ain't gonna work right anyway.
Unless it's on 15 meters. I think 12 foot might work okay there.
He used to smack everything. Everything that he went past. Bridges, going underneath the parking lots at the mall.
Yeah, how am I sounding to you?
I had that issue when I was running my pickup truck. You remember my pickup truck, Dave? I had that 102-inch whip mounted up on the toolbox. I would smack everything, trim trees and everything.
Okay, you in a mobile? 10-4. Yeah, new radio, new mic. Haven't got any mod kit yet, but just trying to see how this thing's doing. Oh yeah, coming in crystal clear. 10-4. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I do that with my Archer 62-inch.
Yeah, I had that 102-inch whip on the toolbox of my pickup truck, and that thing worked really well.
Big whips do the job.
Right in the center of the truck.
Omnidirectional.
Kind of learned to know where all the low-lying trees are on my way home.
I think something sucked the skip right out of there. I don't hear much of it anymore.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah, it's dropped.
Yeah, give it a minute.
Yeah, that's now pretty good here.
It's only taking a breather. It'll be back.
Taking its good old time.
On classic radio roundup, or even the skip takes a break.
Sniffer antenna here with on the icon. I'm still hearing a little bit of it, but it's not nearly as much as it was.
I don't even care about the skip as long as I'm not getting blasted by the bleed over.
Yeah, it's horrible when it's doing that stuff.
Anytime skip comes in, it's like all bleed over. It's horrible anyway.
But I'm not really seeing nothing on the band scoop coming from 11 or 14, which is a plus.
Yeah, these guys get these hacked up radios and they splatter all over with Class C amplifiers and then they think they sound good.
Ah, spoke too soon. There's the channel 11 mishmash.
World.
Spoke too soon. There's the mishmash from 11.
I guess they don't want 18 in Georgia. Push is right back.
I wonder if we still have conditions to South Carolina. They've become one way or something.
How about you, Night Ranger, Night Ranger, Night Ranger, South Carolina Night Ranger? Where you at? 441, the Spitfire.
That's funny the way that faded out. He was up there and all of a sudden the signal just dropped out. And it was gone.
What's even more funny is I didn't hear him at all when you're talking to him, and then when you said he faded out, that's when I heard him.
Yeah, so it kind of changed polarity or something as the signal was fading, and it became better for you, and then, and then it just kept on going and disappeared. You and I evidently have a different angle of attack or polarity or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do, because you always are stronger in his receiver than I am, and I'm running a lot more power than you are. But I guess maybe your dB gain makes up for that.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not even true. I mean, there's times when you're higher than I am, and then there's times when it's the opposite. You know, it fades. That's the weird thing about it. You know, you and I are 10 miles apart, but, you know, as close as we are in a relative scheme of things, the conditions vary ever so slightly. And again, that could be, you know, not so much geographic related, but maybe it has to do with antenna radiation angle or something.
Yeah, that's probably likely. Now that station there, man, he's lighting up 40 to 50 kilohertz in each direction from channel 11. Holy crap!
Splatterbox.
No lie, that thing from channel 11, there's 20, 40, 50, almost 60 kilohertz in each direction.
Yeah, there's no need for that. You can put out a big signal without putting out a wide signal.
Just dirty crap.
Evidently, they've never been schooled on that.
On the other hand, though, sometimes it's easier to make a big signal wide than it is to make it not wide.
Busy talking local. You'd be amazed. All that local talk going on.
Chuck out here tonight?
Nah, I haven't heard Chuck. Not yet. Unless he's just listening.
Where you at, Big Wig?
When them splatter boxes start going, man, you could just see the noise floor just rise right up.
Yeah, thankfully I'm not hearing much of that.
Put them big old fancy beams up, but you got no ears break.
It's right there.
Somebody say, who has no ears?
I ain't got no fancy beam. I'm just running my fiberglass stick up in a tree.
I got a wannabe Joe Gunn.
Yeah, Big Dave and his wannabe Joe Good. You ain't gonna do nothing. And you can't get your numbers called.
Swing it to the east a little bit more.
Buddy, I'll be back in 5.
Time for me to get on that wave editor and start doing a little bit of file editing.
Oh no.
I'll put a whole speech together.
Just trying
You ain't gonna do nothing. You're nothing but a coward.
Yeah, quit being a follower.
Stop trying to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah, skinny pimp.
Skinny pimp.
Right.
You're in Oklahoma.
No, Oklahoma here.
Wrong direction.
It's all okay in Oklahoma.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
The 3 dB down.
Yeah, good booga.
Back up to the 3 dB mark, man.
Yeah, time for the coffee refill. The noise is fully and wholly back. On Classic Radio Roundup.
Get out here.
27.115 on your AM radio dial. This is Channel 13, home of the Classic Radio Roundup.
Over there, you ride it all day. Breaker! Oh, wow.
Go ahead, Breaker.
Time. Grease. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Break.
Ah, yes, the grease monkey. Hopefully you'll get that grease off your hands.
Never. That's got sentimental value. Man, it's real.
Yeah, it's impregnated itself in your fingers. They're permanently black.
I get the most of it, though. Took a while to figure out how to do it, but yeah. The other stuff I leave there, cosmetics.
A little plastic tub of Gojo. That'll take care of it.
It's 113, India. Goddamn guy. Yeah.
A little gasoline works good too.
Yeah, just try not to light it on fire while you're using it to clean your hands.
And I'll be able to figure it.
Yeah, don't be smoking while you're doing it.
Then it truly will be a fire starter.
Yeah, I'll have to change my name again now.
Starting fluid works good too.
Yeah, carburetor cleaner works really good. It dries the skin right out, but hey, get the grease off.
I would say kerosene too, but kerosene sticks with you, man. That smell just sticks with you.
Turn it.
Yeah, it's like heating oil or diesel fuel. You don't want that.
That's what you need to do.
I get a bath in hydraulic oil every once in a while, and when it's hot, it just absorbs into your skin, and it just breaks you out.
Yeah, it's not good for you. That's a carcinogen. It causes cancer.
Clean on the 4 sections, and you have the best of both.
Yeah, unfortunately, it comes with the territory, I guess.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, give it a little bit of time. It'll come around. You'll figure it out. Turn to the northeast, break.
When I blow a line at work, somebody in a hurry. When you rely on just two machines, that's it. Somebody's got to fix it.
Out, man.
Well, hopefully you can do it while it stops spewing this stuff out.
Yeah, but normally you're in an upside down mode where it just like drips down your arm or something like that. I have an old jacket that I wear and I try to keep most of it off me.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's on a job for duct tape. Too much pressure there.
On the 142, plugging the...
Yeah, but it's just so hot. I mean, when you're running the machines all day, and it usually happens when it's the most hottest is when they blow, and there's just nothing you can do about it. That oil temperature is so far up there, you have to just muddle through it.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful, that'll scald you, man, because that goes way above 212 degrees.
Yeah, that's why I wear my jacket, and I'll throw rubber gloves on and stuff like that, but I still get covered. Christ, it gets in my hair, it gets everywhere.
Oh, wow. Well, we have Grease Monkey. I guess we can call you Oil Monkey.
I just turn the wrench if I have to. If I don't have to turn the wrench, I'm not going to, but normally I end up turning the wrench, so...
Yeah, because nobody else will step up and do it. You know, they figure out, we'll get that dummy to do it. Let him get bathed in oil.
Yeah, I don't know. It's par for the course. Finally they got me some brand new machines, so I really don't have to worry about that. And then they have the service plan, so if something happens, you know, I just call Mid-Atlantic and they come running.
Roger, well, that's a good deal.
But some of these old dinosaurs that I have running, man, they blow a hose, that's it. You gotta be on call and ready to go.
Hours on it?
Yeah, that's never good.
There you go, yeah. You're, 50 foot up?
Exactly 50 foot, maybe 52.
There you go, man. Yeah, I really don't think I need any. I'm 100 foot, but, anyways, you got a little bit more wind resistance.
What happened to Ron? Ron dropped out of there?
I think he's still working on his radio, getting it nice and perfect.
He sounded pretty good. I don't know, he gave that kickback, and he sounded a little more clear than he was the first time he keyed up, but
Just out there.
Yeah, audio-wise, that radio sounded very good. Initially, it was a little off freak, but I think he fixed that. He sounded better the second time.
Breaker.
Got breaker?
Well, good evening. Around the band, it is the night train mobile making his way back to the home 20.
When I do,
Where you at there, Train?
I might have to duplicate.
I am, is that Skip that I'm talking on top of, or what, Bagger?
Yeah, there's a little low-level skip in there. It's been kind of, it's like breaking loose, and then it fades away, and then it breaks loose again, and it fades away. It's kind of, up and down.
Yeah, it's almost like I hear a full QSO in there. Anyhow, I'm down around Limerick heading west on 422. I ain't too far from the Limerick exit, Roger.
Okay, so you're trudging your way up the line.
My squelch out here in the OKC. Hey, 629, old Twister, waving a hand.
Oh, that's what it is. That's Twister out there in the OKC, waving his hand. Hello, Twister. You sound like your local night train Mobile, Pennsylvania. He's gone. Hello there, Ranger.
what's going on there, Train?
Oh, not too much. I'm headed on back. Coming in from a hard day's work. Looked at 2 jobs on the way home. And I would like to have an animal on toast with lettuce, tomatoes, cheese. I don't know, something to drink.
sounds like a plan. What'd you get done late last night?
Last night I didn't come back home. I stayed down that way, 10-4.
Hey, 10-4. I was on probably till about 10:30. I thought you might have been coming back.
I had thought about it, and then I'm thinking, you know what, I'm working down on this end. Why not just stay? So I did. You know, I had my work clothes and stuff with me.
Hey, 10-4. Well, at least you're home tonight.
Hey, 10-4. What about it, Bagger? Where's Pete?
He's here. He went to get something to drink or something.
Sam Roger.
Tell Roger right on there, Cat Bigot.
Yeah, man. Good, great lady.
Yeah, no guarantee, no told you that Cat Bigot real. And we stepping on.
Walkie-talkie out there, man. But
That's what Pete Pick and show. And no doubt about it. No doubt it. But anyhow, yeah, man, I'm famished, tired, weary, worn. I don't know. Y'all got a theme for tonight?
Nah, no real theme tonight because, you know, of the unpredictable nature this time of the year, you know. Is there going to be skip? Is there not going to be skip? Or is it going to be a good turnout of people? Is it not going to be a good turnout of people? And so I figure we'll do the themes when there's a more steady, predictable turnout.
Hello, Night Train.
When people are home sitting in front of their radios trying to warm
Fast
up
on the key.
from a little bit of heat from off of the glowing glass.
Hello, Night Train.
There he is. Hello, Pete. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Bit tired, but, you know, I'm fine, man. Good spirit.
Sound like you're driving through my neighborhood.
the Northeast.
Yeah, I'm around those Philadelphia premium outlets. We're rolling westbound on that 422.
Yep. Sanatoga exit's my exit.
That is correct.
We're going to be going around the 05 curve pretty soon.
Yellow radio.
Coming home. Hate to burn out my radio going around the 05 curve.
Don't 05 your radio on a 05 curve. Hello, Chuck.
East, man.
Now there's Chuck. Security has been looking for you.
Trying to get this thing dialed in, and I think it's a little crunchy.
Punching much.
Yeah. Might be a little RF here in the audio.
Nothing wrong with a little RF.
Well, it sounds all right up at this end.
Crank up the highs, back out the bass, punch through the DX. Around biscuits about any time.
Yeah. Reduce the high fidelity. so you get that pile of busting audio.
Here you go.
Break.
Got in there, security.
Hey, Chuck.
Good evening.
Hey, I was wondering if you could reach out to your friend Ted there. If you have any other other than Simplex.
You can email him, you know.
I hope not have his email.
He gets on, what is that, 3812 or something? On Saturday mornings.
3018.
Every time I've looked lately on 3818, they're somewhere down around 3812, so I thought they gave up on the 18.
Now, Chip, you remember my call sign?
I don't off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to pick up that item he had, and since I haven't heard him on, I've given him a shout a couple times on there. He was on the one day, and that was it.
Oh, okay. I can send him an email for you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm sitting here listening on that Simplex frequency, so
I mean, if he was interested, I'd pick it up off him tonight.
Late night dope deals.
Yeah, item.
I know where you get it. I know. I need it. I need it now. I know how much you pay for it. I know where you get it. I want it. I need it now.
Did you just hear me on Simplex, Chip?
No, I did not. Yeah, it's like they're just breaking my squelch. I don't have much for an antenna there.
Okay.
Well, we get up there and big, though, don't forget.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's time for a shameless plug.
Or a shameless connector.
Big Band Taxi, 89.3 WRDV, 8 to noon on Friday.
WRDV stereo.
Community radio in the Delaware Valley.
Or I should say not stereo, but hey, close enough. High fidelity and all that other good stuff.
Well, it's stereo if you listen to WLBS 97.1, or if you listen to the internet streamer.
Oh, really? The other transponders in stereo, but the main transmitter's not, huh?
No, Mom.
That's because the WLBS is fed through the internet now.
Well, doesn't matter if the transmitter isn't stereo.
Is out there to run a hip.
Yeah, but that one happens to transmit in stereo now.
So it has the subcarrier audio and everything else. A multiplex for stereo transmission.
From what I understand, I may be wrong, but what I read in the email, that's what I gather. Stereo on the internet and stereo on LBS. Mono on 107.3 and 91.7 and 89.3 are all mono.
How unfortunate.
But so's 75% of the music we play.
Well, yeah, that's the other part of it. I mean, when you play music from, 80 years ago.
Yeah, the new music is 50 years old.
Yeah, our new music is 60 years old. Our old stuff is 80 years old.
You're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. So I may be tied up on Friday for a little while, at least 8 to noon.
And then we're doing lunch.
Yeah, that's right. Then I got to go over to my parents' house.
Did they make the move yet, or are they still in the process?
Well, they pretty much did the major move today. There's still Detrius to pick up.
And that's why you're going over there.
Yeah, to pick up the Detrius. Aren't I lucky?
The Detrius.
If you're doing as good as you're doing.
There ain't going to be any radio parts laying around, I can tell you that.
No.
Detrius.
No, Dad wasn't a radio geek.
Well, not in our sense. The excess superfluous Detrius, the stuff, the swarf.
Yeah, the transcombobulator.
Alright, like backstrap galvanizers and things like that. Well,
Yeah, just like a backsplash galvanator.
alright.
The stuff that they don't want to actually move.
Alrighty then.
All lefty and meet in the center.
Yes, 27.115 on your AM radio dial.
FT 101 EE.
Foe, Tram Titan 4.
Connex 4300 HP.
Galaxy 2547.
this thing in a while. Let me see here. Yay. Gotta adjust the gain with the EQ and all. A little hot.
Well, you know, you're talking about women. A little hot's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Alright, you sound a little fuzzy on my end.
Fuzzy, huh?
Fuzzy Wuzzy. Was he a bear?
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he?
Evidently not. Because he took too many chemotherapy treatments and lost all his fuzz.
Oh, hold on a minute. There we go. I wasn't Cyril Pete.
0005?
Roger D.
Yeah. And this portion of Classic Radio Roundup was brought to you by the 05 Amplifier Institute and Repair Center, where our motto is, if you can buy it, we can fry it.
Oops. Yeah, this is a neat old radio to run here. I just have to relearn the EQ settings on it.
Yeah, you need one of those ones where you can memorize a whole bunch of different ones when you switch radios and you don't have to recalculate it.
Oh yeah, like the, I guess the studio mixers, you know, where you push a button, everything goes to a preset.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of different presets.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, all it takes is a lot of money.
Yeah. AA3RE.
And you can hear the AC coming out of the vent in the room here.
This is not working.
At least I can.
Well, I can pick up my fan noise from the, what fan is that? I don't have the computer on anymore. I guess it's from the radio. The ICOM's fan's on. And my little portable fan. It, keeps me cool.
Very good.
I don't need a fan. I need a flannel shirt. It's 62 degrees down here at Command and Control Central.
Yeah, I have 72 here in the station.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a cellar dweller. You get that 62-degree temperature.
I know, I got to keep a flannel shirt in the back of the chair.
Well, I serviced the central air back in the spring, and I got that thing blowing 17 degrees cooler on the discharge than the return, and so it keeps the house nice and cool, and the thing, it runs very sparsely. I'm amazed.
Hey, good evening, Sparky.
Yeah, I measured the output temperature of mine, and it's about 52 degrees. Which is about what you'd expect, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what mine is, 52 degrees. There's a discharge temp, and then the return air is 17 degrees warmer than that.
Yeah, well, I got the vents closed down here, and the AC's not even running, and it's 62 degrees.
Now, do you think that's just heat transfer from the basement walls and everything?
Yep, that's right.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I keep the vents closed down here when the AC's running, otherwise it'll be freezing.
You need to pull the air out of the basement and use it to cool the rest of the house, and then your AC wouldn't have to run as much.
It does draw some air from down here. Some of the intakes, you know, there's intakes throughout the house, but there's a couple down here. Somebody keeps calling for Sparky, but Sparky's not here tonight.
Hammerhead.
Yeah, I heard who he said he was, but I'm just letting him know that Sparky's not here tonight.
Who was it that was calling for him?
Hammerhead. I never heard Hammerhead before, I don't think.
I think I did, but I forget where he's at. I can't hear him though.
I hear him in and out in the skip.
So here's Sparky 205. They've been checking in.
Who do you people think Sparky is? Sparky's not here.
I do. I think very much you know, Bear. Very much you know out there, but that's not for the dogs to come in. Just got home from work.
Maybe they think I'm Sparky with this booming audio out of this Penny Pinto.
I almost think that one guy's
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, radio test.
Oh no, another Sparky? Say it isn't so.
Hey, Sparky was telling me there's one guy down in Upper Darby.
Another Sparky in Upper Darby?
I believe that's where he said he was out of.
205 St. Louis, say good evening up there in Buckeye. 205, waving back at you.
I picked up those two little 2 pill for $10 a piece. Full moon, start to hell. One of them has one bad pill in it. The one's got a MRF 455s in it. The other one has a 1436.
It's a shame they're not all the same. Then you can like take the one good one from the each amp and make one good one out of it.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think the 1446s and the 455s are similar for power rating, but they're not the same for impedances and everything.
Well, yeah, they're close, but you would have to effectively rebias to make it work.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that they're not biased at all. They're probably Class C.
Go belly press up, then move over, lay down, go slow.
Like the skip is in there, and then someone flips the switch and it turns off. Yeah, and then somebody else flips the switch and we got splatter from another channel.
Lap it right up.
You smell that?
Yeah, we were talking to Night Ranger earlier, and he got in there for about 30 seconds and then faded out, and he hasn't come back.
Somebody stepped in something.
As soon as the conditions got in there, they faded away again.
Because they never did quit. They'd always come back the next night for home. Looking at you.
I'm gonna step out, guys. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
We'll see you later there, Ranger Rick. Don't get bathed in any hydraulic oil.
I do my best to avoid it, but it's inevitable.
See you later, Ranger. Have yourself a good night. We'll catch you when we can.
Roger on your Dodger.
See you right there. We waving.
Hey, going back on that another topic we were talking about this morning, I checked out the median income for that area, and it's $45,000. The median income around here is $55,000. So that still doesn't explain why the houses cost so much.
The people that are affording them obviously are making more than that.
I'm just telling you what I read.
Well, you sounding all kinds of...
See, it may not be telling you the whole story, but yeah, I mean, you can't add two and two together and get five, you know? There's something else going on. I mean, people who make $45,000 a year are not going to be buying houses that are $500,000. You know, it's got to be people from another area where the median income is quite a bit higher.
Well, I was only just comparing the median income for that area and the median income for this area, and the median income around here is higher, and the houses are cheaper.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's another factor involved that isn't being reflected in those numbers.
I can't figure out how the people out there can afford to live. And all the houses, I mean, not all of them, but you know, more often than not, they're $300,000 and up. You know, and that's for a house that needs work. You want one that's move-in ready, you need to spend $500,000. They're like, who the hell's buying these places?
Well, see, here's the thing, too. You gotta understand something about the median numbers. The median numbers are an average. And you might have a very small segment of people, relatively speaking, that make 100,000. And you got a whole lot of people that make like 25 or 30. And, you know, but and then comparing it to another area where you might have a more of a balanced, 65, 55, you know. And the two numbers may look similar when you average them out, but there's a huge disparity from the high and low. And the people who are buying the big fancy houses are probably on the high end.
I understand all that. I guess the point that I'm trying to get across is there are no cheap houses out there. So where are the $25,000 a year income people living? You know, it's not like here where you can move into an apartment or you know, more dense housing where it's cheaper. That option doesn't exist out there like here.
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, around here, I mean, you know, if you don't like the price of the house, just drive somewhere, you know. You go in one area, there's $300,000. You go in the middle of Reading, you can buy one for $18,000. Yeah, it's in the slums, but you can afford it.
Yeah, well, the slum type houses out there, which is like, you know, a trailer on a dirt lot, is still $185,000. I'm like, well, where are the people that are waiting tables living?
Yeah, don't know. Like I say, it might be worth a little Google searching, and I don't know. You might turn up something. That's an interesting question to ask, because like I say, you know, you grow up in one area your whole life, and then you go somewhere else, and everything's all, you know, weird financially like that. And you're like, how do people do it? How do you afford a $400,000 house on a $35,000 a year salary? No bank in the world is going to give somebody a mortgage under those conditions.
Call Section 8.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because, you know, the housing options are less out there. You pretty much, you know, there's town and you're clustered around town, but unlike here, when you leave town, there's nothing. There's nothing. Here, you know, one town runs into the next town, and even sort of in between towns, you got houses. Well, there, when town ends, the town ends, and there is nothing. So, you know, I don't understand it. And all the houses in town, you know, pretty much, you know, in the area that I'm looking, they're all, you know, the cheap house is a trailer on a dirt lot at $185,000 next to between the highway and the airport, you know. But then you got these $500,000 homes next to the trailer park. But the trailer park is, you know, all these $200,000 RV trailer park kind of trailer park. But even still, I don't want to buy a quarter acre lot, $500,000 home next to a trailer park.
Well, I guess the conclusion that I can draw from this is that you're not moving out there.
Not unless they're buying me a house.
A lot of the people that work at my company, they come from far. I mean, I know a lot of people that have at least an hour drive.
And well, that's the thing. I was even looking an hour away, you know, in places like, you know, the northwest corner of Arizona where there's nothing. And the houses are still $300,000 and $400,000 in the middle of nowhere. Like, what the hell are people doing to make the kind of money to afford a house like that when there's no infrastructure around, there's no industry around? What the hell are people doing to be able to afford that?
Maybe they work in Area 51.
There's a lot of people work remotely quite often nowadays too.
Yeah, but you can make, you know, $300,000, $400,000 a year working remotely. I'm in the wrong line of work.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not unheard of at all.
I'm doing the wrong kind of work.
I mean, yeah, you can work remotely and do computer-related stuff. But the thing of the matter is you gotta get the job first, and then buy the house. So I guess you could say, I mean, it might be some Silicon Valley geeks out there. You know, it might be because they want to escape the taxes and all the crap in California. And I guess, you know, Google and some of these other companies might allow it. That certainly would answer that.
We have a huge chunk of our workforce there. I mean, and I can tell you, I have an average of 1,000 people that work remotely.
There still has to be a place where the schlubs live. I mean, your average Joe, there just seems to be no average. It's all high end.
Yeah, now most of the guys that I know that work at my company that are in the lower end positions, a lot of them live in like Delaware and stuff like that.
We're talking about Arizona and Nevada, because that's what Pete was looking at. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground. If there are, you know, telecommuters that are working for Silicon Valley companies, you know, that can afford the big houses, then what about the people who work in gas stations and corner stores and things like that make pennies? Where do they live when there's nothing out there that they can afford?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, and I'm you know, not at the top, I'm not at the bottom. You know, I'm somewhere in the middle, and I'm like, I don't think I can afford it.
People with the gas station jobs with their parents that have the big houses.
Yeah, that may count for some of it, but you know, it's just a weird dynamic there.
I thought it would be more of a lateral type move. I wasn't expecting it to be all that much more. I wasn't expecting it to be all that much cheaper. I was expecting it to be somewhere around the same. And boy, was I surprised.
Yeah, you've piqued my curiosity on that. I'm gonna have to, when I get a chance, I'm gonna do a little Googling and see if I can't, and I want to broaden it out a little bit too, you know, to other areas. Just like, you know, what can people do, you know, in these areas where there's nothing but high dollar houses. You know, obviously can't get a mortgage for on $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, you know.
Well, the wife has been doing all kinds of, you know, she's really good with that Zillow and all that stuff, you know, searching for houses. And she's been searching all over the place for houses. And, you know, pretty much everywhere I go in 100 miles in any direction from you know, where the job is, it's more or less the same story.
Yeah, so you wonder, where do the teachers live? Where do the ditch diggers live?
It's unreal.
Damn it, boy. Where do the police live, you know?
Yep, that's my question. You know, where do the average Joes live? Not everybody's making $1 million a year.
Well, you know, that's all you laughed about it. Nobody heard it.
and which wonder it makes me wonder, and maybe I'm not maybe a better position to ask for more money because there's less people in the entire state of Nevada than there is in the city of Philadelphia. So apparently the skilled labor pool is probably a lot less, and that may put me even a better position, to get some kind of compensation to get me the heck out there. Otherwise, you're not getting me.
Well, I mean, the good news is you're under no obligation to do anything. You can have this guy on the phone, and you can have to say, you can ask him straight up, what's the deal with the housing out there?
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is a fishing expedition, nothing more.
Yeah, it's like, what's the deal with the housing out there? How can somebody on this salary afford a house that costs this much, and there ain't nothing any cheaper?
Yeah, I mean that is one of the questions I'm gonna ask. It's like, I don't understand how people can afford to live out there unless you're offering, some kind of money that I'm not aware of or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm under no obligation to do anything, but it doesn't hurt to go look.
No, doesn't hurt to do anything.
The power plant itself is literally in the middle of nowhere. It is literally miles from anything.
So, like, if it exploded in a ball of fire, nobody would care. Or, well, people would care, but nobody nearby would get hurt.
Yeah, it'd be like, in town, they might see a puff of smoke on the horizon.
And then they'd know why their electricity just went off.
It's a real nice power plant. It's relatively new. You can see it really well from Google Earth.
Do a flyover.
Yeah, we'll follow US 95 south from Boulder City, Colorado. And if you hit Searchlight, or Boulder City, Nevada. If you hit Searchlight, Nevada, you went too far.
There you go.
I wish I had a big radio.
Yeah, me too. Where do you get a big radio?
Who wants a good radio?
No, a big radio.
Who wants a big radio?
I don't know. I got this little old Pinto Mobile.
Yeah.
JC Penny radio, no less.
JC Penny Pinto. Oh, it sounds like a Tram Titan 4.
That's right.
I'm just stuck over here in the OK.
Where the heck is 44 Dave been? He hasn't made a roundup in quite a while. I'm beginning to think he's avoiding the roundup.
Can't answer that question. I'll have to ask him. He was on last night, a little bit before this time when I was on.
Yes, I mean, I catch him sometimes in the afternoon when I'm driving home, or he'll pop in there before the roundup, or he'll pop in there after the roundup, and he tends to vanish during the roundup.
Yeah, maybe the roundup's just not his thing.
Yeah, I guess not. It's not for everyone.
Just rooting around in some boxes here, and I found my Cantronics TNC. I didn't realize I even still had it.
Yeah, I still have both of mine. I've got an MFJ TNC, and I've got a, what the heck is that, an AEA PK232 or something? Something like that.
I forgot I still had the thing. Still with all the cables connected and everything. Microphone, serial connection. Ha!
Yeah, I could get back on Packet Racket, although I think it's probably evolved since the 25 years that has gone by since I bought that thing.
Yeah, there really is not much in the way of packet anymore. The only kind of packet is Apers now.
Yeah, I mean, even back in the 90s, it was pretty much almost obsolete, you know, with a 1200 baud, you know, rate and everything else. And now you've got the internet. It's like trying to push Model T Fords in an era when you've got, you know, Teslas running around. Yeah, good old ham radio. At the forefront of technology. Yeah, it was, tongue was firmly planted in cheek on Alan.
And the bleed over's back.
Yeah, which means the skip conditions are building again. Wonder if Mr. Night Ranger's still hanging loose. I don't know. Well, yeah, Night Ranger, you got a copy down there on the good side of South Carolina?
Well, there's that asshole Matt Dillon.
I want to hear that pristine voice one more time.
Hello, Matt Dillon, the asshole from Oklahoma.
Yeah, that was a weird one. In there for a minute, gone the next.
Old Matt Dillon ain't too strong. He can't stay too long.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that thing because I got my test ball ripped apart here. Everything's like disarranged.
And what is this thing?
That 811.
Oh, the AEA. Or the AEA. The Ameritron.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah, I got all my stuff like kind of pulled out here. I got a couple toolkits, not rolls, but I got a couple big rolls that go right here. Pick that brand new stuff. I got a side roll sitting over here. FJ sitting here.
Oh yeah. Get ready to crank it up on the big bands.
Got the spot all picked out in the trees there, about 60, 80 feet up.
There you go. What are you gonna hang up there? Just a simple dipole, or are you gonna make something creative?
Never opened.
I think for that price, it's probably worth it then. It's worth it. In parts and labor, trying to make your own.
Yeah, I mean, the scrap value.
How about yourself, brother?
It's heavy copper, too. I mean,
Have you had the itch to want to burn a wagon today?
Oh yeah, there's no problem there. The thing you gotta worry about about when you got an 80-meter dipole is the length of the antenna and the structural stability of it. You know, if you get ice on it or the wind blows real heavy, you got to have hot, heavy enough wire so that it won't come apart.
Yeah, that wire is definitely not breaking. I think it's like 14 gauge, might even be 12 gauge.
Pretty sure this one.
Wow, that's pretty thick.
166 Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, wrapped up in the bag here, it's got some weight to it. It's definitely heavy duty.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
That's good. Get that bad boy up in the air. And you could probably run it on 40 a little bit sooner.
All that noise looks like some horns in
Just about anything.
I run my 160 meter antenna on 6 through 160.
106, huh?
See, the nice thing about it on 40, when you start running an antenna that's twice the size of what you really need, your radiation pattern starts to go high. It gets strange. You get a lot more lobes out of it and stuff. But one of the lobes might point straight up in the air or close to straight up in the air, which is actually good for 40 meters because it gives you that umbrella coverage around the regional area.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it'll perform fairly well once I get it up there. Like I said, I don't want to get anything committed set up here until I get that Ameritron, and then I can actually arrange my desk here and get it all set up.
Must be talking to myself, kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit heftier amplifier. I still got the old 05 Collins over here. If I ever get tubes for it. But then again, that's way down on the list of things to do too.
Yeah, this one, Chuck pretty much vouched for it. I think it's got brand new tubes, and it should be in really good shape.
Out there around. DX Land.
I know Ted. He takes good care of his stuff pretty much. So yeah, he says it's in good shape. It hasn't been 05. Let's put it that way. They got to make it a little bit difficult. But I mean, I forget what brand amplifier it was. It actually had a band stop filter in it for 10 meters. And I still have the filter somewhere. I took it out of the amplifier. You know, and I guess it stopped anything above 15 meters. He actually had to remove that and jump it out. Then you were good to go.
Yeah, because I definitely want to use it on 10.
Oh, not too bad. I didn't.
10. Maybe slip it down a little. We need a little extra kick for those nights when the skips there.
Oh, how you're fading in and out on me. 166 Illinois, said that.
Now we get Illinois in here. Guess the skip moved west.
Good evening, your way. Oh, you around the duck fucking band.
Sound like my neighbor, Illinois.
Yeah, it do sound good when they come in there. Like Mr. Murphy and all those guys from out that way.
Oh, yeah.
Guys coming in stronger than you are.
Oh no, here we go again. Step on the gas for 5 minutes more. I guess I'm gonna have to grin and bear it.
Yeah, it's about time for the video gate to go off for this session of Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, well, it was a lighter turnout, but hey, any day to play good radio is a good day.
That's right.
Well, damn it, man. Where'd all the big radios go? How in no big radios?
I wish I had a big radio. I only got this little old J.C. Penny.
3, 5.
Yeah, big radio. Big radio. Get them big radios out.
I want a little radio, but I want a big antenna.
That's right. That's the difference right there. It's not big radio, it's big antenna. Because the antenna is what does the job. It puts your signal into the horizon, where it can be heard by millions of people worldwide.
Yeah, I want a pair of 8 elements stacked.
Not about how many watts you have, so I can check your signal from windows.
Right. Just like they always say, it's not the size of the ship that makes you seasick, it's the motion of the ocean.
Nice.
Yeah, but nobody wants to cross the Atlantic in a canoe.
There have been people that have tried.
Well, that's not checking their sanity.
Well, you know, they gotta do something that other people haven't done.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
I think I heard that. Wow, that was fun.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
Wanna be Joe Gunn.
No doubt about it. No twisters gone. See ya. Big Dave. Big Dave. With my wannabe Joe Gunn.
On that now, don't you? Hey, jealous as hell.
Key up that big box, Willie.
You can't get your numbers called.
Me and my little two-pill going night-night. I'm taking my little two-pill night-night with me.
Man, I slapped you.